You, I think you'll have a good response to it. I
Okay.
don't want to put you on the spot though. Anyways,
I'll try.
when you think of a meaningful conversation, like to you, so like not an objective, meaningful conversation for everyone, but like just for you, because a conversation can be meaningful for anything for anyone.
Right.
But for the conversations you have, what do you consider a meaningful conversation and a not?
Honestly, are you talking about like a topic?
Yeah. So like, are there certain aspects of a conversation that you like put them higher and like weight them higher than other ones?
Honestly, I don't think it has anything to do with the topic. I think it has to do with do I learn something or does the other person learn something? I think that's a valuable conversation.
So as soon as there's learning involved, you think it's meaningful?
I think if there's change involved, it doesn't necessarily have to be, because it could be something that I've known. It's just I've never looked at it at that vantage point, which I guess is learning something new, but it's essentially change. Like, oh, I haven't thought about that, or that's a meaningful conversation.
What if there's just a movie you love and you find someone you haven't met who loves the same movie and you talk about it for 20 minutes and at the end you still both love the movie?
See,
Is that meaningful?
That could also be meaningful because they could mention, I've had this before where someone will mention something that I didn't notice in the movie, even though I love it. I'm like, whoa, now I love it more. I didn't even notice that. Or I'll say something and then you trade ideas. Like, I've had movies where someone will be like, this is my favorite part because this happens and I'm a big fan of that. Well, now I've learned something about this person and I learned about what kind of gets them going or what kind of riles them up. If it's like an exciting moment, they tell me about it. That's meaningful.
Okay, wouldn't you learn a little bit in like any conversation you have?
No, because if I come up to you know what I hate? I don't really like small talk very much. I'm not a big fan of that.
You can learn stuff about people from small talk though.
You can, but not all the time. So, because you're saying what's a meaningful conversation, what's not. What's not would be, oh, the weather's cold outside. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, I was gonna go outside, but it was too cold, so I just went back inside. It's like I would kill myself if that. I hate that kind of conversation so much. That's not meaningful.
I just don't partake in them.
Yeah, you just look away when they ask you something.
Well, no one asks me because I
That's
don't
pretty funny.
fucking talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those conversations are so not meaningful. It's just something to like, you know what that means to me? It means that there's an awkward silence, which isn't even awkward, it's just a silence. But for some reason, people think of it as an awkward silence, which then ironically makes it awkward. So they decide to say something just to fill the silence, and
Which
that makes it more. Yeah, if you just left it silent, it's like I could just think in my head. You know, I've had moments where I'm just silent with someone, but I'll be lost in thought and they'll be lost in thought, and then that causes conversation. So I'll be like, you ever think of this? And they'll be like, what even caused you to think that? And then that rolls into an actual meaningful conversation.
Because most good ideas require some thought. I guess.
Exactly. I think any good idea requires thought, doesn't it?
Or a lot of it I think is luck too.
You think so?
Because I think of all the times I've thought of just something random and like that wasn't meaningful at all. And then it led me to other thoughts that ended up being awesome. I think that's mostly luck. It's just like I was lucky to think of the first thing, which led me to the 8th thing, which was super cool, I guess. Because most of the ideas I have that I think are really nice, I don't just like sit there and think and then just go, oh, that's awesome. I'm thinking about something else.